All right, boom, we're back. Squeeze
back.
the Neck podcast. Returning guest, my mate Stuart Cole, not Coles. We've been over this at the Gauntlet. Only place to be. Well, not the only place to be. But I say that about too many places. But one of the places to be for MMA in London, mate. As I say,
and
boxing, of course. We go well, easy now. We'll come to all that. Before we spoke sort of a lot of traditional podcast. This is a bit more like a bonus. We're going to talk about boxing fights that have been coming on the horizon, all that jazz and everything in between.
All right.
Because the AJ Fury one is not really set, but we get to it. We get to all these things. But let's start at the beginning, I think, mate, because Dubois, Fabio Wardley had a proper old-fashioned, what do you want to call it, tear-up, barn burner, whatever you like. And I was on an episode before it happened, talking about it, and I thought it was going to go basically exactly the opposite way. I thought Dubois would start fast and Wardley would stop him late, and as it happened, it went in complete opposite, you know. But tell me, mate, what was your prediction before the fight?
It was weird because
you can lie now because it's happened. It's already happened, so you can pretend you're smarter than you are if you like.
No, do you know what? I actually, for some reason, I was like the same as you. You thought Wardley, right?
I thought Wardley would stop him late.
Yeah, I had that all the way through. And then the closer it got to fight week, I kind of started like thinking Dubois might do it, and it was only because I was speaking to one of my clients actually, and the whole way through he was saying Dubois. He was saying Dubois the whole way through,
right.
And I don't know why. I think speaking to him, did I train him the night before? Yeah, I did. But we only see him every couple of weeks, and I seen him a couple of weeks before that, and he was still saying Dubois. And I think I was thinking about it from that.
Right.
So I was thinking, maybe Dubois might do it. But he boxed really well, didn't he? He boxed really, really well.
Stayed calm too. When it was going against him. Because he was on the floor, right? For anyone who hasn't watched it, he was down in like 8 seconds, I think.
Yeah.
Straight on his back. Well, not on his arse anyway. But he, when I saw that, I thought,
here we
this
go.
is going.
It's going to blow him away.
He went down again, didn't he? Not long
Third
after.
round.
Third round, yeah. So was it third round or second? Yeah, third round.
I think it was third.
Round. But he
won everything, didn't he? Other than that, almost, didn't he?
But at a certain point, I know a lot of people said that they probably could have pulled Wardley out there a little bit earlier than they did. But listen, it's a world title fight, and you got to go. It'd be interesting to see what he does next. But like we both sort of had the same prediction by the sound of it beforehand. But like, as the fight's going on, what point? Like I tell you what, when I was watching it, I watched it after, so I knew the result. So when I'm watching it was already thinking. But I'm watching it and I'm thinking like, you could see how this was going pretty quick to me. Now, part of me is like, I already know the result, right?
Yeah.
So a bit of like, what do they call it, armchair quarterbacking or whatever. But
for
me, it was like very hot, very early. And then it was still a great fight all the way through, but it got a little bit to the point of like, you could see where this is going. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think Wardley, like you said, he started very fast. But I don't know, he just become a bit predictable, didn't he?
Yes, exactly. That's it. Exactly.
You know? Like he ran out of ideas. Like he was just all the time just trying to wing that right hand. Like no setup, no nothing. And obviously with Dubois, with his pedigree, I think he just read that a mile off. And his footwork was brilliant, wasn't it? The way he got in and out of range, he could always just see that right hand winging at him all the time.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you the thing that sticks with me is like, is he a really great fighter? There's a lot of overthinking. He just lost twice to Usyk. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people say it's mindset, it's this and that.
Yeah.
But sometimes
Usyk's the best, isn't he?
Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it's just a level above what you're capable of, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is it that simple sometimes?
I was watching a podcast with Tony Bellew, and it was the other day actually, and he was saying that everyone comes up to him saying, "Oh yeah, he was beating Usyk," and he was outpointing him, but he was just better than me. Yeah. He knackered me out.
I saw that.
Yeah. He was just better. So it's no shame in losing to Usyk, I don't think. And obviously Fabio Wardley, give him his due. He's come from white collar. He had 4 fights.
Is that all he had?
I think he had 4 white collar fights. You know what I mean? To go into a bout like that with Dubois, who's had God knows how many amateur bouts, hasn't he? And look at his last 5 fights now. Dubois. He's had Baby Miller, Hrgovic, AJ, who blew away, Usyk, and now Wardley, who was world champion. Dubois on a roll, isn't he? Really?
It's just Usyk. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Is it just like, are people overthinking it in terms of like it's Dubois' mindset and it's this and it's that? Sometimes someone's just better than you, isn't they?
Of course.
You know what I mean?
And Usyk's been better than everyone.
Everyone.
He's beat everyone. I mean, the only person he really struggled with, had a hard fight here with, was Chisora. But then again, could you say that maybe was down to it being in COVID? There was no one in the room, was it? I think there was there was no one in there, was it?
That's right. I think so. Yeah, from memory. My memory.
Yeah,
right.
you know what I mean. I'm not saying that was what it was, but imagine boxing in like a graveyard like that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like it must be a different atmosphere.
Sometimes, listen, I've boxed some of them as well. Like some of them small amateur shows, you box in front of a few people that you're sweeping up. But it's like, listen, Also, there's a situation sometimes I think where it's like he's fighting Chisora, so he's not fighting one of the other guys.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And it's not
styles make fights,
but
right?
he's also he's practicing things. Maybe he's working on stuff. Maybe he didn't. I can't. Who knows what's going on in his brain? But you know what I'm saying? Like there's different scenarios. Is he working on something? Did he not think? And also, listen, if you get into a mode of you don't think someone in front of you is that good, as the fight starts going, it's almost too late, isn't it? You got to catch up a bit, and you can have a bad night, and it doesn't really matter because he still won anyway.
Yeah,
Do you know
exactly.
what I mean? So all them things that go through it, he's. I've seen him live. I don't know if you've seen him live, Usyk.
I've not watched him fight, but I've watched the open workout with him.
Class, like
even an open workout.
It was a Dubois one I saw him at.
Yeah, that's right.
He was like, it wasn't even a fight. Do you know what I mean? It was clear quickly, very very quickly.
Yeah,
like,
5 rounds he done him in. Didn't
he? But it was clear. Like I think going into the second round, like this is only going one way. Do you know what I mean? But with the Dubois thing now, it's tricky, isn't it? Because what's he do? Does he just wait Usyk out now? Do you know what I mean? In terms of wait till Usyk's gone, because I can't see he's getting another fight.
Because Usyk was talking about fighting the winner of that fight, but like I don't want to see that.
Well, it's one of them, innit?
Yeah,
I'll fight the winner of the fight if the winner's Wardley, innit? Really, because like we're going to fight Dubois again. That doesn't make sense.
When you just like pretty much beat him twice convincingly.
And the second time was
definitely
unbelievably convincing, wasn't it?
And I don't think Dubois will go in and do any better the third time.
No,
personally,
no.
I mean, he might, but I mean, come on.
And if anything, it could get worse because you lose again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like then what? Do you know what I mean? You're waiting for you. I know it is anyway, but so it doesn't really make a difference. But Usyk's got an interesting one, which we'll come on to.
Yeah.
But like Dubois now, for me, I think I'll tell you one thing actually, touching on it with Dubois. What I'm surprised didn't happen. I'm surprised the Anthony Joshua hasn't been mentioned at all. Do you know what I mean? Has Anthony Joshua just sort of checked out of that sort of a little bit? Do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I think at the moment that's a dangerous fight for Joshua at the moment, isn't it? Because they're looking at Fury, which is mega money, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's the fight.
Mega money. So they don't want to like put him in against Dubois again, I suppose, at this stage.
Again, right?
Yeah, exactly. And Turkey ain't going to want that, is he?
No.
Like nowhere near.
The Fury fight goes silly then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean, it'll always be there to a degree, but it's one of them like a bit like not the same, but like the Mayweather Pacquiao. You know when it happens too late, when it's like we wanted to see it back beforehand. It's a bit different because they both lost now, aren't they?
Exactly.
Anyway, and to the same man, but Joshua's obviously coming off a knockout to Dubois. He hasn't fought since, has he? Oh, he fought Jake Paul, but like
But if he hadn't had his accident, I think he would have been out already this year. Personally, Joshua, I think he would have been out.
You think we're halfway nearly through the year.
Yeah, he would have been out. I reckon. I reckon he would have been out already.
Yeah.
But that happened, so he's not been.
Yeah, it needs some time. That needs some time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That needs some time. But are you confident the Fury and Joshua fight happens?
No,
not
until they're in the ring. No,
really, yeah.
Well, because I mean, you don't know, do you? Like, I mean, like even though Joshua's fighting, to a degree, a nobody, disrespect to the guy. I mean, he's had like 20 bouts, 20 knockouts, hasn't he? The guy he's fighting.
Well,
Prenga, is it? I think he's had 20 fights.
He's had
20.
I don't know. I don't really know, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I mean. He's like a relative nope to us. He's a nobody, even to boxing fan. But if he has a bad night against him, like which I don't think he will. I mean, he shouldn't, should he? I mean, that's what they gave him in.
Yeah, but I mean, that sums it up, doesn't it? When you ask what was he at, and we're like, we love our boxing. Do you know what I mean? We're like, I don't really know. So for me, like the Fury fight, I think the Fury fight's got to happen. It's got to happen like now. Current.
Yeah, it should happen. If it doesn't happen this year, I don't think it'll happen.
Yeah, I think I agree with that because it's like time's running out, isn't it? And then it becomes a bit.
It's getting boring. It's hot now. Yeah. Like really, they should like someone was saying. I can't remember who it was. Someone famous was saying they should just jump. Frank Warren, funnily enough, he's like, they should just fight now, and they should really like fuck it, innit?
Just fights.
They
can fight twice anyway.
Yeah, exactly. You could do that in Wembley in August. Oh my God, that's massive, isn't it?
Yeah, massive.
Don't bother with Prenga in Saudi. I mean, which again is probably mega money as well. Yeah. You're getting mega money for the Fury fight as well. So that's 2 fights this year for mega money because the Fury fight is stupid.
Yeah, but I'd off that one. Like I know it's not a simple set, and I'd off that one. Like
I think he's only doing it as well because Fury's been out.
Tick over, but you don't know what the situation is, right? But saying you'd off it like from a perfect scenario, you'd fight Fury twice this year, like you said, right? Fight him in August, then fight him at the end of the year.
Or next year. Like, it could just be... Because, I mean, they're at a stage now, let's face it. I mean, that fight's probably... The first one especially is not going to be for a world title. No. Unless... Well, I suppose if Fury fights again, and he can get into some kind of, like, mandatory or something, where they can... Usyk vacates, and in a world they can just... chuck a belt on it, maybe that's what they're trying to do. I don't know, because they're on about Fury fighting Ruiz, weren't they?
Were they?
Again, I've heard this as well.
What's happened to him? by Ruiz. He seemed to fall off a cliff after Joshua, didn't he? I know he's had a few fights, but
who did he fight recently? Didn't he fight Jared Miller? He fought Jared Miller.
He did a while back, yeah. He did.
And he fought.
Strange fight, wasn't it? I remember watching it. It was a bit.
I can't remember if I've seen it. I can't remember it.
It was a bit of a strange fight, yeah.
But I knew he fought that, and he's fought someone else since that as well, hasn't he?
He has fought since, but he's got kind of fallen off the radar. Yeah. He's gone from like the top of the tree when he beat Joshua to suddenly he lost in like a rematch where he come in like well overweight.
Like obviously living life, wasn't he? After that,
right,
he would never have expected in his wildest dreams to have won that, would he?
Not that kind of money. Like a rematch, what he must have got. Exactly. And all that. But like life changes, didn't it? I think he's got about 5 kids as well, Andy.
Has he really?
So I think he really went like party time. Of course. You know what I mean? And enjoyed himself.
And he was sort of, by the looks of him, he sort of used to enjoy himself quite a lot anyway, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he weren't skipping any meals, was he? No. Ruiz, like he never refused a plate of food in his life, that man. But it's funny when I come in here, he was on the TV.
Wasn't he?
On the TV, that's then. That was the fight that Joshua won. I remember I was watching it just then, remembering sort of as it was happening. Like that was years ago. I think it was before the pandemic. Like how did he like just fall off a cliff and like has got into his career? Because he should be in this conversation, shouldn't he? He's still young enough, but he's not. Anyway, but like if we look at now, we've got Usyk in the fight as well, which would be interesting to hear your point as a sort of a purist of boxing, if you like. Like, what do you think about him fighting Rico Verhoeven?
Again, Rico's someone that before this I've not really heard of. I mean, you probably have, being an MMA guy and a kickboxing guy and whatever. I've not really heard much of him, but I believe he's WBC kickboxing champion.
He's been the top guy for, I think, over a decade. He vacated the belt just because he's like kind of had enough of it by the sound of it. Do you know what I mean? He looks for a new challenge, and I'm assuming he's getting paid tenfold for the Usyk fight of what he would have ever got paid before. But he's brave thing to do, jump straight in with Usyk, isn't it? But you know.
But again, money talks. I'm obviously. I'm
the challenge as well.
Yeah,
I think he's one of them guys.
Handsomely
I think he's one of them guys that likes the challenge. You know what I mean? He's fought MMA. I think he's signed to the UFC as well. I think he might have been signed to the UFC on a deal. I might be wrong on that. Someone help me out. But I'm pretty sure he has got a UFC contract of like something to come forward. But let's be honest, right? In a pure boxing match, he's got about as much chance against Usyk as Usyk has against him in a kickboxing match, hasn't he? Yes. Do you know what I mean? It's not.
I would agree.
But people, I think, still get interested in these because every now and then the Ngannou one against Fury comes up, doesn't it? Where someone from outside comes in to boxing and does well.
Creates an upset.
But for the most part, we've seen it before, haven't we? You know, and like for me, I'm quite interested in the fight, to be fair, because I think it's cool. It's at the pyramids and all that business as well.
Yeah, that's good.
So it's quite cool, but
just the fact that if they're doing it for the belt is a bit naughty. I think they shouldn't be doing that.
Well, he's come from kickboxing, so I kind of like that because he's the champion over there.
He is.
So I think it's kind of a cool, like once in a lifetime type. Do you know what I'm saying?
I just feel it's a bit harsh on people like Caballero.
It is, yeah, but at the same time, I think Usyk's earned that, right? Like he's cleaned out the division. And like, does anyone watch that fight and go, "Oh, Caballero, he's the guy that's going to do Usyk"? Not really, right?
Probably not.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
not,
I think it's one of them.
He does deserve it.
He does deserve a shot. He does, but that's what you get, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? That's what you get. That's what more people, I think, would probably watch the Verhoeven fight. Brings in a different audience as well, doesn't it? You know what I mean? It brings in like the kickboxing guys.
Of course, they're all going to want him to win.
Yeah, and all that kind of stuff. But will you watch it? Are you one of these? Yeah, you're not against it. You're not one of these. That's
I'd always watch that. I think. Yeah, that kind of fight I'd watch.
Yeah, because I quite like these sort of like, if you want to call, I don't think they are gimmicky, but if you want to call them like a gimmicky fight like these, I quite like them every so often. Do you know what I mean? I don't like it if it becomes the norm.
No,
you see where I'm coming from? Like every division's having it and all that kind of stuff. But every now and then, heavyweight champion of the world at the time was Fury, when it had a portion of it, and he fought Ngannou, who come over from. I think it's quite cool every now and then. The problem is, everyone and their mum wants to do it now, don't they? You know what I mean?
I think if you're big enough, I mean, Ngannou was a big enough name in MMA to be able to do that, wasn't he? I think as well.
I think he won the fight, to be fair.
Yeah, he did.
He did win the fight, right? I think he won the fight.
I think so.
I do think he won the fight.
It's a bit naughty that they gave it. Did they give it a draw?
No, they gave it to Fury. Fury won on a split. I think it was a split. Or
he didn't win.
Doesn't matter. He didn't win the fight to me.
No, he didn't. No, he got put on the floor as well, didn't he?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
But that's the problem with Fury, I think, sometimes. Like, when he doesn't really, again, like you were saying earlier, like, when he don't really take the fight seriously from the start, like, he doesn't turn up. He seems to always, like, what is it? Like, go to the level of the opponent.
He does, yeah. I think he's a problem. Even his comeback fight recently. Like, I mean, people knocking him. I thought he looked pretty good in that.
I thought he did, actually.
I thought he looked good in that. I think there's a lot of people watching that going, "Oh, he did," because they don't really know what they're looking at. For starters.
I thought he did all right.
I thought he did all right, but it wasn't a vintage
12 solid
performance.
No.
Yeah, it was like a workmanlike performance. Yeah. He's back in the ring and he's getting his work in.
Yeah, I think
he's never in danger. Was he really?
No,
like, you know what I mean.
It's like you said earlier. It's just to get out there, like, you know,
run out. Isn't it?
Yeah, run out.
Do you know what I mean? And listen, let's be real. That guy's, what is he? 6'6". Like,
big lump, isn't he?
Do you know what I mean? Like, this is a dangerous man, isn't it? And he did what he needed to do.
He's just limited skill wise. I'd say.
A bit robotic, isn't he? But it's what it is.
But that's what he wanted. Just someone to move around with under the lights. Isn't it? Get the ring walk, big night, big occasion. Do you know what I mean? Which Fury's used to. Yeah. I mean, you think with Wembley, remember I remember watching the walkout with him and Dylan White. Imagine that at Wembley.
Crazy. Yeah.
He kind of did something similar that night, didn't he? Do you know what I mean? It's just nice for him to be able to get out like. Because imagine the Joshua one. Oh my God.
It's going to be massive.
That's huge.
Massive that fight because I think it's got to the point now where I think it is close enough to 50-50 of like crowd support. Like, people will be like it will be like a bit football crowdish. I think
because Fury's done really well with like the whole show on Netflix. So he's made himself really relatable, hasn't he, to the public?
Yeah. Have you seen it? The show?
I watched the first series.
I've watched bits and pieces. I haven't really seen it properly.
I was in Thailand when I watched the first series, just because I was like sat in Thailand, like that was all I had was Netflix on.
Is that right?
Just do you know what I mean? So I could
it's limited abroad, isn't it? You've been abroad, you put Netflix on, and you go, I can't watch it.
Yeah. So again, because I'm boxing, and I was out there boxing, I was interested in that. Yeah. But the second series, no, I haven't watched.
Yeah, I've watched, like, as I say, bits and pieces. But everyone seems to like it, right?
Yeah.
It seems pretty good.
He makes him relatable to the general public, innit? You see him with like his family, and he's got like loads of kids himself.
Yeah, I think he's got 8 kids, isn't he?
Is it
7 or 8 or 7 or 8? Yeah, he's got a lot. He's got a lot of kids.
Yeah.
But I tell you what's interesting with the fight now. People's opinions seem to be changing. I think a lot of people are giving Joshua more. Not that people didn't give Joshua a chance before, but I think Fury was quite a strong favourite before, wasn't he? Whereas now, like Joshua seems. Yeah. If the fight happens now, forget their primes or whatever, which we'll touch on. But like now, if they fight, who are you leaning towards now?
I'm edging towards Fury still.
Still, yeah. Okay.
I just think he'll have a little bit more. And I'm basing it really on their recent performances. That's what I'm basing it on, really. Okay. Not so much like. Because Joshua's, a lot of people say that Joshua has got a really good chance of knocking Fury out, and he has, based on style. I think he has. But I just think, based on looking at like the 2 fights with Usyk, and Joshua's last performance against Dubois, where he got absolutely ironed out. Yeah. I just think that Fury's got a little bit more left, even though like you said against Makhmudov, he was sort of like I don't know, even though he didn't look vintage Fury, he still did what he had to do. He still boxed relatively well, switching stances, still had the elements of the, And
he didn't when he's come back before, when he fought 2 guys, before he fought Wilder, he didn't look great then either. But then when he put it together when the big show comes.
Exactly. Look at him against Usyk. I thought the first fight with Usyk,
one of them, very, very
one
close.
Point, I
could
thought.
Could have gone to him, I mean.
It was round 9, that knockdown or ish knockdown that changed the whole fight.
Of course,
Otherwise, it could probably been a draw.
I do think he's on the slide though, Fury.
Yeah, he is.
I do think he's on the slide. I've said this before many times. I think in his prime, I do think he'd have beat Usyk. I think the guy that fought like the Wild at them time.
I've heard people say this as well.
I think he could have got Usyk, you know what I mean? But we never know, will we? You know what I mean? And like them fights with Wilder, they were great. They take it at you, don't they? Do you know what I mean? They do, because like Wilder since then, bless him,
he's gone really down.
He's gone. Like his fight with Chisora, he looked pretty good in parts, but he ain't got that one
he's not
pop
there
anymore. Don't seem to be there.
And again, he kind of almost looked like Wardley, like just trying to throw stuff with like no setup, innit? Like and his pedigree's a lot better than Wardley's. He was bronze medal in the Olympics. Do you know what I mean? But then again, was he just blowing people away then as well? Maybe he was always Olympic, but fair play. He did well out of it, didn't he?
Yeah, and big men as well, aren't they? Like I think like what you say, Wardley, like the Parker one. I didn't see that coming.
No.
I thought that was a step too far, and where he's come through that's I think not the reason I thought he'd get through Dubois. I thought we'd stop him late, as I said, but it's a funny game, isn't it? It'd be interesting to see what goes next for both of them. To be fair, have you seen an interview with Barry McGuigan by any chance?
No, I haven't. No.
Well, he was sort of saying like he doesn't think Wardley should fight again. That should be it, and wrap it in because of the beating he took, which I think is a bit strong. But he's he's been a world champion. He's seeing it in a certain way, but I don't think he'll be finished. I can't see Wardley's out.
No, I think have a good rest and then at least come back and see what you got left, innit? Because he can still, by that time you got to think Usyk's gonna probably be gone, isn't he? The only thing is you've got Moses Atama. He's gonna be around, isn't he?
I think he's the next one.
He is.
I think he's the guy.
Yeah. I mean, they're talking about him and Dubois, aren't they? Like at some point along the line. That's a good fight.
That's a good fight, yeah.
Which, based on, I think Moses, I'd fancy Moses in that. Yeah, just the athleticism. I think he's athletic. Kind of like, he had the kind of everything everyone was saying about Joshua back in the day, the athleticism. Yeah. It's better as well. Yeah. Because, when you've trained as a boxer for as long as he has. I mean, he's only 21 now, isn't he? But he's trained as a boxer since he was like 8 years old, 7 years old. So you think the way he moves as that big heavyweight, he could move like that. He learnt to move like that as a child.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's why it's so fluid.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's still there from it's instilled in him.
And he's southpaw, which adds an extra thing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Extra problem. And I've never seen him in person, but people that say he's not oversized either. He's not like a big marauding like plodder.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's the right.
But he
size,
moves so well.
Big enough. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like obviously he's punching like crazy. But I really think he's going to be the next undisputed champion.
I think he beat Dubois personally.
I think he's as good as everyone says he is. Do you know what I mean? It's a shame he's not sort of 2 years further along to get him in there with Usyk. You know.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, listen. Why not give it a go, right? Why not go in there with Usyk for like Usyk ain't going to be around forever, is he? Don't miss your chance to get him.
I mean, it's going to be interesting what he does after this.
Yeah, well, he's talking about 3 fights, isn't he? He said this one, Fury, and
well, he was talking about Dubois and Wardley, wasn't it?
Is that right?
So I don't know now where he's going to go.
Yeah, but it'd be quite strange to fight Dubois again, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
You know?
I mean,
and Fury again.
Unless he goes Caballel, unless he does have Caballel.
Yeah. That's
maybe.
a weird one. That's a strange one.
But then Caballel, for me, I mean, really, I guess Usyk should after this really vacate, shouldn't he, and let Caballel fight someone else for it. Yeah. Potentially. Potentially Dubois. I'd like that. Dubois, because it would have been a Coley, wouldn't it? But now he's obviously had all that's happened with him. So it could have been a Coley and Caballel.
But it's interesting. Like, where do you think? What do you think's next for Wardley?
Well, obviously he's going to have some time off. So I think, and then maybe go. I don't know, really, isn't it? It's a hard one.
It's tough, isn't it? It's a hard one to go because I'll tell you why I thought of it then. I thought
because you don't want to drop level to. Well, they're the same camp as well, aren't they?
They are, but they won't fight. So that's why I brought it up because it's not going to happen, right? Yeah. But I thought about that and then because listen, if that's a dangerous
Sparring
fight,
would be interesting, wouldn't it?
You're right, yeah, but that's a dangerous fight for him, and I think that could be sort of in a way career suicide. But,
I think.
But as I said, they're in the same camp. They're friends. They've said openly they're not going to fight, haven't they? Do you know what I mean? But it'd be. I want to see what Moses Atama does next. I want him because it seems like a couple of years ago, or not a couple.
He's fighting in August,
maybe a year ago.
They haven't announced an opponent yet.
They haven't announced an opponent because it was like a year ago. He wanted to sort of talk about beating Mike Tyson's record, which he hasn't because of age, and I don't think it's not really realistic for someone to beat that record. How quick he did it at the time, right? But as it goes forward, like it seems like they've sort of eased off a little bit. And he's not as much in the conversation with these guys at the moment, which I find quite strange because he's so young. Yeah. And it's like, you know...
The way it's set up as well, like what's going on with all the belts. Because they are going to... I suppose it's Usyk, isn't it? Having all of them.
Right.
Because I don't know. I don't think that he's going to fight... Usyk don't want to fight him. He's not come out on his list and said that he don't want to fight him.
No.
And I'm sure like even Frank Warren, I don't know... As much as he says that he probably would throw him in, would he throw him in with Usyk now?
Yeah.
I mean, if he had the opportunity and the money's there, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think it's one of the fights that you'd take if it was there, but he doesn't want to necessarily chase it overly, right? Because, listen, if he loses, you can say, there's no shame in getting lost. But listen, if you want to be the guy and you want to be the undisputed champion, when Usyk retires, you become that and you've already lost him. That does sort of change things a little bit, doesn't it? You know what I mean? So if you come after him, like Usyk gives up the belts and you clean up and win him, that's a different impression on people, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? In terms of going
You're the man then, aren't you? You're the man.
Well, man, he's 21 now. Let's say he was undisputed champion at 23. He could literally be 10 years plus as a undisputed champion. Now, there's a lot that can happen in that time. Don't get me wrong. That's not a given, is it? More people will come along, etc. But
at the moment, there isn't, though, is there? There's not really many there at the moment, is there?
But think about it, he's 21.
Yeah.
There could be a 17-year-old kid now that by the time that kid's 23,
true.
he's still only 28 or whatever it'd be.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, they're coming, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? They come. They do. People come up in weight. All kinds of stuff goes on now, doesn't it? Especially with the money and the crossover. I'll tell you what would be interesting to see after this, like the Dubois and Wardley one, is like the next 2 fights for both of them. Because they're kind of career defining in a way to me. Do you know what I mean? Whereas Dubois has got to get back en route because he's been there, done it. He's got the belt now, but he's lost to the top guy twice, so it's kind of hard for him to go. So it's a tricky one. But Wardley's coming off a bad loss, isn't he? Do you know what I mean?
He is really.
You'd fancy that his next fight's going to be a bit of a, warm-up fight's the wrong word, isn't it? But you know where I'm coming from. He's got to have a bit of a level down. You'd have thought, wouldn't you? Yeah. But then again, if opportunity comes, could he jump in with a Caballel or someone? Do you know what I mean?
Maybe.
Well, the other fight I want to talk about as well, which is coming, is the Dave Allen versus Hrgovic one.
Yeah. Wow.
Winner of that looks quite thingy as well.
Yeah,
Which we'll come on to in a minute. But like, if we discuss the fight a bit, that's a tough fight for Dave Allen, isn't it? I think that's a tough run out for him.
It is really. Somebody like Hrgovic's pedigree, but then again, Dave Allen's very good as well.
Very good. He's very good.
But he's just like.
I just think there's certain people you can't beat.
Yeah.
There's a limit on him. Do you know what I mean? In terms of like, he lost his last one, didn't he, to the guy Fury just beat.
Yeah, he had one more since that. He had
one more since that?
He had a French guy. He was just like complete was he? Okay. Decimation job. Like,
so he's back on the horse.
Done him in like
right.
it was
Sorry,
a real.
Dave.
No, but it was I don't know. It's not really the perfect fight for a run up against Hrgović. I don't think.
Yeah.
But then what is? I mean, Hrgović is very good, but I guess it is a winnable fight for Alan. At home. But it's just, I guess, what version of him turns up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you look at him against Johnny Fisher the first time, and then Johnny Fisher's not a Hrgović.
No.
But, like, he turned up and he was, like, really, really good and put him on the floor, didn't he? And got a loss, I believe.
Yeah, he got a loss, but he didn't. He won it,
and then the second time just, like, knocked him out.
Yeah, and also, I don't know if you've ever met him in person, both of them. Like, Johnny Fisher's considerably bigger than Dave Allen, like, in terms of structure. Like, Dave Allen, like, is not a massive heavyweight from what I've seen. I don't know him well, but I've just, been around him and seen. But he's like, he's a heavyweight size, but not like a big heavyweight.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He doesn't look huge.
He's not that tall and wide.
Joshua
dense
or Dubois,
exactly.
that sort of thing.
He's very sort of like thick and dense, whereas like Johnny Fisher's taller, bigger frame, longer arms, all that kind of. But he beat him well, didn't he? And I thought that was kind of after the first one, sorry.
Yeah.
I had the opinion, I thought it'd probably go the other way. I thought Johnny Fisher would come on strong. I'm making terrible picks on here lately.
That's right.
I thought Johnny Fisher would probably get him out of there. Do you know what I mean? But again, Dave Allen. The thing, I tell you the other thing with Dave Allen, he's not that old. He's in his early 30s, I believe. Dave Allen. He's been around a long time, and he talks about himself like an old man. Yeah. And he's sort of like self-deprecating, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? But
he doesn't give himself enough credit.
Right, but he's a very, very good fighter.
Yeah.
He's the reality of it. Do you know what I mean? And certain times, I think his brain's got in the way of him. Like he spoke about it, didn't he? About like I think it was David Price fight he was talking about, where it was like. He sort of quit in there, beat himself, didn't fancy it, and sort of
kind of a bit like Magmudov, really, a little bit, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah,
really.
a little
I didn't
bit.
see the whole fight. I can't remember. I think it was at a fight show when it was on.
Right.
So I didn't actually see it all, but it did go the whole 12 rounds, didn't it? Magmudov.
Yeah, I believe. Did it get stopped late, or was it? 12
no, I think it went 12
rounds. It went 12 rounds.
I
I
think
can't
12
remember.
rounds. And he actually had him hurt, I think, at one point, or in like the 8th round, but he just didn't step on the gas.
Yeah, but it's I think
with Hrgović, he's going to need a lot more.
He's right. I think it's a hard fight against Hrgović, but I do think it's a winnable fight for him. You know what I mean, he shouldn't win it. In reality, Hrgović should be a bit of a level above him. But I don't know. I feel like Dave
puts it on him in front of his home crowd, gets off the crowd a little bit, and just has the night of his life. I mean, he could change his life there, couldn't he?
Yeah, could. Yeah. I mean, what happens though if he wins there? Because that's what's hard for Dave Allen. Because I think the way he speaks, and it's not even his ability as much. Because if he had exactly the ability he did, but he was speaking like a Moses Atalma, for example, like full of confidence, going to go, you'd look at him different, wouldn't you? Right? Yeah. Based on just the way he is. But he's like, if he comes off it, he's kind of going like, I'm not world class. I'm not. But it's like, if you beat Hrgović, you're sort of on the doorstep.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, I mean, you're knocking on the door. It's like what you do. I mean, I watched an interview of him yesterday, and he's talking about. Give me the right money, I'll fight Fury. Give me the right money, I'll fight Moses Tama. So his tune's changing a little bit. Because, I mean, obviously, again, it is a winnable fight in the sense that you're at home and, you've got everything going for you, haven't you? You are capable.
Yeah.
But, again, you've just got a really, really good boxer in front of you in Hrgović. Big lump as well.
Big old
again,
lump,
like, I think he's about 6'6" or 7, isn't he?
6'6", yeah. I think
he's a big guy, I'm sure he can punch a little bit as well.
Probably.
10-ounce gloves.
Yeah, probably.
So,
don't feel good when he hits you.
No.
Yeah, but what's your pick on that one, mate? What do you think?
Unfortunately, I'm siding with Hrgović a little bit. I do think Hrgović will win. I hope he doesn't.
Yeah.
I really do want Allen to win, but I think Hrgović will probably nick it. Maybe points, maybe late stoppage, maybe. Just depends on what version of Allen. But that's not to say if Allen has the night of his life, he could win.
I think he's definitely, like you sort of touched on it a little bit, I do think he's turned a corner.
Yeah.
Because the way he speaks now and the way he is and the way he's going after it, it's like, listen, if you're at that age now...
You've got to go for it,
Go for it, I think.
And he's changed his life financially already.
Right, so
like
that changes things.
Yeah. Like,
that can change a lot, can't it, for fighters?
Yeah. I mean, he's going to make fucking loads of money for this, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like this fight. I mean, and he's going to do it at home as well. And I guess, really, if he loses... I mean, I think they were saying, I did watch an interview with her, and I think they said he's going to fight again even if he loses.
Yeah.
But I think they've made him quite like a star, haven't they?
Yeah.
And
people root for him, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I want him to win. I don't want him to lose, but I just can't see it.
Yeah, well, he's a very likeable sort of character, isn't he? So but it does make it hard picking against him. I'm with you. I think if all things are going right, I think Hrgović should win, shouldn't he?
Yeah, he should.
But doesn't mean he would. And like you said, it'd be good to see Dave Allen pour it on late or something and stop him and get him out of there. But it'd be interesting to see. It'd be interesting to see what Dave Allen has achieved in his career when he wraps it up, right?
Yeah.
Because I think he said recently he's never won a belt at any level.
No, that's incredible.
Which is quite mad, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like to think.
I think he's fought for the British though, hasn't he?
Yes, and who was the guy?
Fraser
Commonwealth
Clark?
as well, didn't he? Didn't he fight Lemroy Thomas?
Yeah.
For years ago.
No, Fraser Clark's not one. Was it Fraser
No,
Clark?
it wasn't Fraser Clark.
Who was it that he fought? He was going to fight TKV for it, wasn't he?
Was that what it was? Okay.
And then Clark fought him, didn't he? And
right, that would have been a good fight for Dave Allen.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He could have beat TKV.
I think he would have probably won that, which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah.
But I think they took Makhmudov, didn't they?
Right.
Which was a bit...
Step up, didn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess I see what they're trying to do. They're thinking if he beats Makhmudov, then he's in the talk.
Means more, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Means an awful
well, look where Makhmudov went. He fought Fury.
Right, yeah. Could you imagine if David Allen had won that and he was fighting Fury? Because it could have happened,
Joshua.
right? Yeah, right.
Because he probably got more chances fighting Joshua because of Hearn.
Well, here's an interesting one for Dave Allen. At this stage in the career, obviously not when he was in his prime, but is Deontay Wilder a chance?
Well, they were talking about that, weren't
were
they?
They
They were talking about that as well.
Okay.
He was saying about he wanted Wilder. I mean, that's a good fight now.
That's
for
a
him,
winnable fight for him now, I think.
That's a better fight than Hrgovic.
Right.
If they could have got him, I think.
Now.
Yeah, of course.
Because I think Wilder's one of them.
Yeah. Even Chisora.
Completely gone. Yeah.
Is a good fight for him because
it's
such a big name.
Yeah.
Like, and Chisora's going to want one more, isn't he?
You think he's not done? He's
saying he wants to fight Wilder again, isn't he?
Is he? I don't know.
But, I mean...
I haven't heard this.
But, I mean, I think... imagine Dave Allen and Chisora.
Yeah.
That's huge, isn't it, for the UK?
That'd be a big one.
You put that in Wembley.
Yeah, you could.
That would go in Wembley.
But even, like, listen, 0-2, that'd be
exactly.
a banging night, wouldn't it?
But I do think it would sell out a football stadium, though, with how popular they both are. Because look at Chisora... in Wilder, it was 0-2, wasn't it? I suppose, yeah.
But you could do a football stadium, maybe not Wembley, but you could definitely take it to Doncaster or something.
Yeah.
Take it back up there.
You don't think at Wembley?
I think you struggle to sell that one out at Wembley.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think you struggle to sell that out at Wembley.
Maybe
because
it depends
even
on the
big fights,
undercard.
there's always bits and pieces floating. You know when they say they're sold out?
Yeah.
Sometimes you're at these big fights, you can go, cut the seats there.
Frochgroves too. That was a prime example. They said they did 80,000. I don't think they did.
Did they not?
Well, I don't know, because like the corners of the stadium were all shut off.
Yeah.
Like the corners, all the corners.
Yeah. Because it holds 90 though, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Right,
It holds 90 and you get more on the pitch.
On the pitch.
So I think you could probably get close
maybe
to 100.
say,
like, do you know what I mean?
maybe
that one was...
But it was shut off in the corners. There was white things all over it.
Yeah.
Which was, I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's the first big stadium show, wasn't
Yeah.
it? So I think they were sort of playing it like, try 80,000. Because Eddie Hearn spoke about his dad really was against it, wasn't he? Like, don't think about the stadium, blah, blah, blah. But like nowadays, it's kind of like...
It's just normal, isn't it?
It's like where they fight and they better be fighting at Wembley,
It's Tottenham normally, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know, that's what I mean. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, dirty word. How
exactly.
dare you.
I know. I don't
Brought
want to
the
say
podcast to a shuddering halt.
What is it called? Championship team.
Yeah. Come on, let's do this. But it's like with these fights going on at the big stages, there's the exposure comes up. So my concern with this, right, not to be a Debbie Downer, but like I want to see the big fights is what I'm getting at. Whereas like where you can get a lot of big names that aren't the cream of the crop at the moment, you could sort of have stadium shows that are sort of too regular, and we miss it. But you know, I'm overthinking that because the big fights seem to be happening now anyway.
Well, they've used some littler stadiums as well. They've used Crystal Palace before, haven't they? They've used up north. They used Barnsley.
Yeah.
I think for Callum Simpson.
That's it. Yeah.
I think it was Riyadpur. They did Crystal Palace.
For Bilham Smith. Yeah.
So do you know what I mean? I don't think they've done it in
Bournemouth as well.
Have they done Bournemouth? Yeah, they did.
Bilham Smith. Yeah.
Because he's fighting soon on Zuffa as well, isn't he?
Yeah. But they're good though, I think, because that's still a lot of people, isn't it, at a fight? You know what I mean? I guess in this country you've got to be careful being outside because of weather. Yeah. I don't just mean obviously you can cover it, right? But like
just pissing down, it's not fun, is it?
And cold, and you know that's got and football season affects it too.
Yeah.
We're being a bit sort of on the negative side here at the moment, aren't we? But
but it's true. You know what I mean? That's the way the football grounds would
listen,
look.
The O2 is one of the best places I think for fights anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? In terms of watching the fights, better than Wembley. Let's be honest. There's not as many people there. But
I'll be honest. Yeah. When I went to Wembley and watched Frochgroves 2, the view. Yeah. When I was sat in the O2 when I watched Wardley and Clark.
Yeah.
And where I was sat on that, it was decent.
Mental, yeah. Even the high seats.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was good. We had a good view of the ring. Even the SSE. SSE's all right as well in Wembley. I've been in there to watch it. Yeah,
I say that. I think I've been in there. I can't
remember it's not bad.
It was years ago I went in. It might be UFC. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Yeah, but it's a good fight. Listen, they're always good, aren't they? Albert Hall's good.
I've not been there to watch a fight.
Yeah, that's good because it's kind of like, it's a bit of a strange one. It's smaller, but it's like very prestigious and it feels like where, you know, my mate Bradley Skeet, shout out Bradley Skeet, he knocked someone out in the first round, so that was a good one.
Royal Albert Hall.
That's it, yeah. First round KO with like a
I really used to like him, to be fair. He was
I've known Brad for years. Yeah. He was club mate of mine back in the amateurs. Yeah. Great guy. He's been on the podcast recently.
Yeah, I've seen
the episode out. Yeah, brilliant guy. And now he's with Fran Hennessy.
I know. And Sky Nicholson.
And Sky Nicholson, exactly. Yeah. I've never met Sky Nicholson, but he was with Fran Hennessy, so I've met her.
Yeah, it's mad, so he's done well for himself.
And she's fighting soon, actually, Fran's, this month, end of the month. So
30th. Adam Azim's show.
Yeah, at Wembley.
Yeah.
Right?
That's SSC, is it?
Yeah, exactly. So it'd be good. Let's hope for the best. But did we give a pick for the Joshua Fury fight? Did you give that?
Said Fury.
You said Fury. You did say Fury.
Yeah.
And wrapping up on the Hrgovic, Dave Allen, you already said Hrgovic.
I'm going Hrgovic.
Sticking with that one.
Yeah.
Now, big fights coming up. Obviously, the Usyk one. Usyk's pretty safe bet.
I mean, I think we'll go with Usyk.
Yeah. I tell you what's interesting before we do finish, but like, how do you see that fight going? Because there's two ways. I mean, there's a million ways, but two ways that you'd sort of think where that fight could go. Usyk could absolutely box his head off, but could Big Verhoeven have a go and sort of turn into terror?
Yeah, always. I mean, the problem is I don't know much about him, to be honest. I'll have to watch a little bit.
He's very big for starters. He's about 125 kilos and he's 6'5", and he's a proper athlete. You know what I mean?
The only thing I would say is that Usyk's never had a trouble with 7 foot Fury, 6'6" Joshua. Do you know what I mean? Dubois, he's about 6'6". He's a big lump. He walked past me at that thing, and he is huge. Usyk, the open workout, I couldn't believe the size of him. He's huge, overpowering guy. And he's never really had problems with that. So I don't know. I mean, is he a southpaw as well, Rico? Or
yes.
Is he?
Yeah.
That's interesting because Usyk's a southpaw. I've never seen him fight a big southpaw like that.
Oh, sorry, I'm saying that. I might be second guessing myself now. I'm pretty sure.
Is he?
I'm pretty sure he's a southpaw.
Is he?
Someone help me out. I'm looking like an amateur, but I think he's a southpaw. I do think he's a southpaw.
Now, that's interesting.
Yeah.
We've never seen him fight a big heavyweight southpaw, have we? I don't think. Not I'm aware of.
No.
He's fought Chisora, Jared Washington. He's fought, who else? Dubois twice, Usyk twice.
Fury twice.
Fury
switches about a bit, doesn't he? Fury switches about, so he's had a bit of a play.
I suppose, but I don't know whether he... Yeah, did Fury... In the first fight, I think he might have switched a little bit. He was really pissing about, wasn't he, in the early part of the fight?
Yeah, he was, but...
So, I don't know. I mean, I guess if he can impose himself and put it on him, if Usyk maybe hasn't, took him seriously, which I cannot see.
I can't see him.
Because Usyk's just like the ultimate professional, isn't he? Like, you even see him training now. Like, you watch him training, like, little clips on TikTok or whatever, and he's still training, flipping hard. And, like, all his training is so meticulous.
Yeah.
I love watching him train, just because he's as mesmerising to watch train as he is when you watch him fight. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know.
I think it'd be silly to pick against Usyk, wouldn't you? But here's the thing, like, Verhoeven's a bit like that too, in terms of like an ultimate professional, trains all the time, blah, blah, blah. But, like...
He's not a boxer, that's the point,
He's not a boxer, so to me, if you stand off and try and box, you're already, like, giving in. The best case scenario is then what? You go to distance, do you know what I mean? Whereas, I know it's easy to say sat here, but it's like, I think he's got to impose on him. And like,
to me,
like, here's the thing too. I'd almost think there's a bit of logic in having sort of a 5-round plan. Like, if it gets past 5 rounds, I'm going to get boxed off anyway. So, 5 rounds, sort of stick a pace on and try and get rid of Usyk. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if he can do that, and can you play some dirty tricks? Can you give a little cheeky leg kick on the slow when no one's looking? Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm obviously exaggerating. You can't, but can you sort of use your elbows a bit? Can you completely go right to the mark and like, get told off a bit?
Yeah, rough him up a little bit.
Yeah,
I think you have to. You have to with Usyk. I don't think anyone's, other than Fury, really got him to those points, have they really?
Joshua had a little moment, didn't he? Joshua caught him a body shot and pushed him back to the ropes.
I suppose,
and had a moment,
But it's a moment.
Dubois arguably knocked him out.
Yeah, but like, but like, what I mean is though, like, get him into those points where he's kind of in trouble.
Well, that's Chisora was sort of mauling on him, wasn't he? I wouldn't say he had him in trouble because he didn't look in trouble at all. But like that kind of mauling, grabbing a hold of him. And listen, Verhoeven's a lot bigger than Chisora. Do you know what I mean?
Can he get there? Can he get to those points? That's the thing. Like, Chisora is very much like, I don't know, he's like such a big guy. Like, the way he's rolling and kind of like throwing his body into it. I don't know. I mean, again, I don't know this Rico, so I don't know how he fights, but can he do that? Because that's a difficult style for Usyk to fight. I mean, any boxer, they always say, don't they? You've got You got to fight a boxer.
Yeah.
And box a fighter.
That's it. Yeah.
So I guess you have got to get him into a fight.
Yeah.
That's what you've got to do.
I'm interested in it. I've got to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see it.
I'm going to watch it, and it's a good undercard as well. They've got some good fights.
Who's the undercard?
I can't remember all of them, but I know Jack Catterall's on there.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. He's another one whose career's sort of disappeared a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he had a big fight with Josh Taylor, didn't he?
Beat him.
Beat him.
Beat him out of sight.
Yeah.
Beat him, and they robbed him.
They robbed him. And then where did he fight then? He's had a few fights.
He beat Josh Taylor.
He beat him, didn't he? But all the belts had gone then.
Yeah. So, and it was a different division as well. Was it upper division? I think as well.
Might have been.
I think it was upper division. I might have been. But
there was no belts, but he did beat him
because he'd lost them in between.
Yeah. But yeah, Jack Catterall, he's been very unlucky, hasn't he? He should be undisputed. He should have been undisputed champion.
I don't know if you've seen it. You watched the fight when it was happening. It was like outrageous. Wasn't it? Like one of the worst ones I think I've seen live. For robbery.
Yeah, disgusting.
Disgusting. It was up there, wasn't it? It was up in
Scotland. Yeah, it was his first event, and Taylor had gone like from that fight. That fight is where he started going downhill, in my opinion, because he as good as he was. I mean, he won some really good fights, didn't he, in the Super Six that he was in.
When he beat Prograis,
he beat Prograis, and he beat another guy. He beat another American guy as well for one of the belts. I can't remember who it was, but he's fought recently. I can't remember his name. But anyway, but he was really good in those.
But it happens, doesn't it? Like sometimes people just fall off a cliff, don't they? I know you're not a massive UFC fan, but there's countless examples in UFC where people
always happens in the UFC.
Gone.
Look at Leon Edwards. Like for example, recently. I mean, he was actually, to be fair to him, I think he was winning that fight, wasn't he?
Yeah. Until he wasn't.
And
that's what you get.
The floor.
Yeah, but that's what you get in it. And like, Tony Ferguson comes to mind.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with Tony Ferguson.
Israel,
yeah, another one. Like, I think he's definitely 4 in a row.
Yeah.
It might be 5 even. Is it 4 or 5? Doesn't matter. But he's, sometimes that's what it is, isn't it? You know
BJ Penn was another one, wasn't he? He fell off big time, and he was one of the greatest.
Now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like, he's in a bad
and he was one of the, when I was first started getting into to fighting and whatever, he was one of the big names in the UFC.
Yeah.
And it was so sad to kind of see him go the way he went.
Yeah. And he's almost got, I think he's got pretty much a 50-50 record now, which is insane.
I know.
Because he just could not win a fight for love nor money at the end.
But as well, again with them, I mean, this is the only problem with, with Dana White and Zuffa, isn't it? Like, he didn't pay them a lot of money, does he? Like those guys. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know.
By example, that's why they go on so long, probably. Yeah. I mean, the amount of money that they're throwing around for the boxing. I mean, some of these UFC guys must be feeling sick. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because even Ronda Rousey was saying about it, wasn't she? And her and Dana are like that, aren't they?
Did you see her rant?
Yeah.
She went on.
That's what I mean.
few problems there, huh?
Yeah, got to be. I mean, her and Dana used to look at. She's one of the ones that Dana used to look after, wasn't it?
Big time, yeah.
But there again, say look after. They were almost bigger than the company, weren't they?
Yeah.
McGregor, Jones. Do you know what I mean? They're the ones that really make money for them.
Yeah.
So obviously they're going to look after them, aren't they?
And also, listen, UFC's run the business like there's a reason MMA's about, and there's a reason they are by a million miles the best MMA organisation, right? Whatever they're doing, people are always going to knock things, right? And say, oh, you don't pay enough, you don't do this well, this is
but
wrong.
Their business model.
Listen, they're there, right? They're the ones. They're the ones that are still about, and for all the money and stuff, listen, I don't think any of the champions are hurting for money, for starters. I might be wrong on that, but I don't think so.
I doubt it.
I doubt it, right? And then also, like...
But maybe back in the day, if you look at some of them...
It's different, right? But you're building the sport. But like now, if you think about it, and if it's one of them situations where it's like the prestige of the belt. Mm-hmm. Like if you're a UFC champion, to me, and for everyone, I think, really, if you're really honest with yourself, the MMA champion of the world is the UFC belt, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's all right being a champion in another organisation.
Like Bellator or whatever.
Yeah, but it's not the number one, is it, really, in reality? Do you know what I mean? Heavyweight champion of the world is Tom Aspinall. Yeah. Bang. I mean, I say that, that's maybe not the best example because he's off for a bit, he's got a scratch time, we don't know if he's going to fight again. But you get where I'm coming from, right? So. We hope he comes back, obviously. But there's a big fight going on at the White House and all that. Are you into UFC? You watch it and stuff?
Yeah, we talked about this last time.
Did we? Yeah. So you're on with the White House card coming.
To be honest, I haven't.
Because big heavyweight clash in that.
Yeah.
Big heavyweight clash.
Cyril Gane, isn't it?
Cyril Gane and Alex Pereira.
We talked about this last time we were in.
Yeah, I remember now. I forget. Because you've got to think, right, I speak to so many people, and like, you forget.
We were talking about this last time, but I don't think it had been announced officially.
It's only been recent, it's been like official. Yeah. Because I think, from looking from the outside, I would imagine it was the Tom Aspinall situation with his eye, right?
Because there was talk of having McGregor on there against Chandler, wasn't there?
Yeah.
But Chandler's fighting on there, isn't he?
Chandler's fighting on there, and they're talking about McGregor potentially fighting very soon after. But
whether he does,
he's been coming back for the last 4 years now.
I can't see that. Can you?
Don't know. don't know. I mean,
like that's someone that don't need to come back for for anything, does it really?
It doesn't need for it, but maybe he needs to come back. Do you know what I mean? And like, it's one of them. Sometimes. Sometimes it's like, and also at a certain point, I guess. You just want to do what you want to do, right? Yeah. Think about it. You box for nothing, right? You box for free. So it's like, why'd you do that? You don't need to do that. Why? Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, you want to do it, and I think that never goes away, right? Just because he's got enough money, and it probably comes even more because it's like he hasn't got to do anything he doesn't want to do. I would imagine, unless he's been crazy with his money, right? But he's like, you want to prove yourself still, and especially at the age he is now, because I think he's coming towards his late 30s, so he's probably seeing the tunnel closing on him. You know
so it'd be welterweight as well that he'd be at, surely, wouldn't it?
Depends who he fights. I think he'd be selective with that, right? You'd fight probably someone who...
Chandler? Is he welterweight?
No, he's a lightweight, but I think they'd fight at a welterweight. That's what I'm getting
or
at.
Catchweight.
I think he'll be selective with it. Do you know what I mean? Not fight a full-fledged welterweight. But maybe I'm wrong.
But everyone wants to fight him still, don't they? Like the amount of money, like...
Yeah, I wonder if it still generates the same money because he's been off for so long. Do you get where I'm coming from? You think so, wouldn't you?
Probably.
But like... The interest has got to be gone a little bit because it's gone on so long. Like I used to love watching these fights back in the day, but now I'm a bit like... It's cool. I'll watch it if it's there.
But look at, like, it wasn't even that long ago. I think it might have been a year ago or so. Maybe a bit longer. I don't know. But Oliveira won against someone, and he was calling him out in the ring. But then Oliveira now, I mean, who did he lose to last time, Oliveira?
I don't know about
Holloway.
Last time. He beat Holloway. He lost his belt to Islam, and he's had he's been a bit up and down since.
Okay, I remember hearing him call. It must have been before he lost to Islam then.
Right.
I remember him calling out
because he was champion then. Yeah, he lost his belt to Islam. Yeah,
so he was calling out McGregor then.
Yeah,
which would have been good for him because he's probably at the back end now as well, isn't he, Oliveira?
Well, I think there could have been something there with the welterweight because McGregor fighting Islam Makhachev because he's Khabib's. More than Khabib's mate. Like, you know what I mean? They're super close, aren't they?
Yeah. I rewatched Khabib and McGregor actually not so long ago. And it was actually like, I thought it was really one-sided at first. And there was moments in there where McGregor...
But people do that with fights. I think our minds do that because you watch a fight and someone won and then someone says it wasn't close and he dominated. And,
he did well, really, McGregor.
Then you watch it. It weren't a one-sided fight by any means. You know
I don't think so.
He did well in the wrestling as well, McGregor. People forget. Straight away at the start of the fight, if you watched it recently... Khabib shot in, right? He was blocking the leg, he was doing the right thing, he got up to the cage, and he didn't get completely smashed in the first round, did he?
No,
you know what I mean?
It was later on,
Later on he did, but listen, that is what it is, isn't it? Khabib, I think, is underappreciated.
He is.
Khabib was undefeated in that sport. It's crazy. But if we go to the White House card, mate, we got Pereira versus Cyril Gane. What's your opinion on that one?
I'm going to go with Pereira.
You are?
I am.
My man.
I am. I wasn't sure. I remember last time we spoke, I did think maybe Gane... I mean, and again, it's one of those things. Again, Gane is a decent boxer as well, isn't he? He can move really well. He's very slick.
Very athletic. Super. He's one of them guys that can dunk a basketball and all that business.
But I just think, like, Pereira, I don't know. I just think...
I hope he wins. And the reason I say it is because it's like, it gets exciting if he wins.
Yeah.
If Gane wins, like, with respect to him, he's lost to John Jones, like, convincingly.
Yeah.
He lost to Ngannou. And it's almost like there'd be an element of he got the belt after the other guys had left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas if, let's say, for argument's sake, Alex Pereira comes out and flattens him with a left hook.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Like, now he can fight anyone. Him versus Tam Aspinall.
Aspinall's on, isn't it?
Mental fight, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's going to... I've got to think that's got to pull John Jones back too, because John Jones spoke many times about fighting him, didn't he?
Yeah. And Pereira?
Yeah, he wanted to fight Pereira, didn't he? You know, so I don't know. But Pereira, I'm a big... And three belts first ever.
Yeah,
first
I know.
ever,
Yeah, we've not had that before.
Insane, isn't it? But, you know, we'll see how it goes. But the main event, any interest in the main event? Gaethje versus...
is that the main... It's not even the main event.
Ilya Topuria.
I thought it was the main event.
No, it's an interim belt. Ilya Topuria versus Gaethje is the main event.
Yeah, I mean, I like Topuria.
I think he's great.
His boxing is fantastic.
I think he's pound for pound number one,
in
my opinion.
Like, he's class. His boxing, again, as well, he boxes really well, doesn't he? His hands are fantastic.
Be interesting if he knocks out an American at the White House, the reaction on that one. Right?
I think he might. Well, I don't know if he'd knock him out. I don't know because Gaethje got knocked out in his last fight, didn't he?
Not his last one, but he got Max Holloway.
Max Holloway. Of course he did. Yeah,
that one. He beat Paddy last time out.
He beat Paddy. Okay. All right. And then so Topuria coming up a weight or not, or is it?
He's the champ, but he was featherweight champ, and now this is at lightweight. So he has gone up in weight, but he's he knocked out Max Holloway actually.
I don't know. I mean, maybe he could knock it. I mean, it's a good fight, isn't it? It's a good scrap. That is a really good scrap.
I mean, I think I'm leaning massively towards Ilya Topuria, but
you'd have to on momentum, wouldn't you, and where he is in his career.
Yeah, but he's had some stuff outside the ring as well. He's been off for a while. He's gone through some sort of
And he going on some of his missus going on
there
as
was
well.
some divorce. I haven't looked too deep into the story. It's irrelevant, right? But he's had some sort of stressful life situations, which can play a part too, can't it? You know
of course,
what I mean?
yeah.
Which is we'll see.
Big fight though.
Big fight.
That's a big fight. I couldn't remember if that was the main event or not.
That was the main event, just because that's the real belt, whereas the other one's the interim.
Interim.
Right? So
okay.
They're waiting for Tom Aspinall's still the undisputed champion, isn't he? But I guess they're waiting for what's happening with him.
I would lean towards Topuria on that. I don't know how he wins. I mean, maybe knockout, but I do. I mean, he's been knocking everyone else out, hasn't he?
Everyone out, yeah. I think he could catch him, put him away. But we'll see. I wanted him to fight Paddy, to be fair. Yeah. Because they got a big history of beef, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, I think if he's on form, I don't think anyone's beating him in that division. No. Unless Makhachev comes back down, which he ain't going to do. So he'd have to go up to welterweight and get him, which then is a different prospect because size matters at a certain point.
100%. Especially when you do what they do well, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, the wrestling.
That grabbing a hold and mauling someone. And listen, like you've done a bit of grappling, right? We spoke before.
Yeah, minimal, but even still.
It was like a high-level purple belt you told me,
right?
That's
it. Black belt.
Black belt in transition, But they,
one day.
Yeah, but you've grappled, right?
I've had a go,
But you know what it's like if someone's on top of you and you're tired and it's like... It's hard to deal with. It saps
Imagine
your
doing
energy,
that for 5 rounds.
Yes, against a man who's a lot bigger than you naturally.
Yeah, and that can wrestle.
Yeah,
do you know
properly.
What I mean? You know,
not just a little bit. Yeah, not properly.
Yeah, exactly. You just like learnt a bit to stop him from doing this in the fight, or for example, like McGregor, because he wasn't known for wrestling, was he?
Known for wrestling, no.
You know, so he, all of his fights ended on the stand-up, didn't they?
Right.
A lot of them.
Right. Yeah. It'd be interesting to see because I think now. These fights are happening too. I'm a big fan of this weight jumping stuff. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't like catch weights and gimmicky stuff, but like when one champion wants to go up and fight another champion, I'm all for that, man. I really, really like that. I want to see that
as well. Just touching a little bit on what you're saying about like the like MMA, it's kind of like evolve. It always evolves all the time. That's the thing I like about it. Like the styles change all the time. Because I remember when I first started watching it years and years ago, and I was talking, I always just like it because of the striking.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, it's about Jiu Jitsu, and then it's about wrestling. All of a sudden, it just changes all the time. That's what I like about it. You know, there's so many different ways to win.
And it goes in cycles too.
Yeah.
Because like wrestling wave, Jiu Jitsu wave, and then when things start becoming sort of like trendy is the wrong word, but you get where I'm coming from. They sort of like that starts working. Other people come up with it, and it sort of goes back to what was working 5 years ago, and it's never ending. Do you know what I mean? There's so many things. Body types play a part, don't they? Like, for example, Makhachev, not necessarily body type, but he's always going to be a wrestler, right? First. And then that gives him the freedom of his striking. He's not people out of head kicks now because of the threat of his wrestling is so severe, isn't it? Like, it is what it is. But it's never ending, man. But we started off with heavyweight boxing.
Now we've got to UFC.
We've gone on to UFC lightweight.
But it's all fighting the same way.
At the end of the day,
That's
mate.
what we love.
It's always great to see
you, mate. It's a pleasure, my man.
Thank
you for having me on.
I'm sure we'll do many more of these as the years go on.
Yeah, I hope so.
Any fights coming up for you?
Not at the moment. I've been staying active though in the gym, trying to just like, just keep the momentum going. Like keep sparring, keep learning, and hopefully we'll have something soon. I mean, I'm not quite done yet.
Yeah, good man. How old are you now?
29.
21, yeah, good man. Yeah. Me too. But,
I know. You said 25 last time. No.
It's
changed a few times.
Yeah. But you know how we do, mate. Last question of the day. I know the answer. I've got to ask you, which football team you support?
The one and only, the champions of the Premier League.
Oh, Man City. You support Man City. My man. Always finish with a fist up like this, mate. Squeeze the neck. Boom.
Boom.